contest due to an abundance of caution. Section 1 of Rhinebeck Athletic Department protocols. All spectators are to wear face coverings and socially distance from one another. Individuals from the same household may stand together. We thank you for your cooperation and enjoy the contest. In the event of thunder or lightning, we will cease the contest. Athletes will report to the buses from the visiting schools. Home athletes report to gymnasium, and we would need all fans to clear the stands and head directly to your cars. Thank you for your cooperation. At this moment, please rise and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of the national anthem.
Not a cloud in the sky on this Wednesday afternoon. It's Rhinebeck and Dobbs Ferry squaring off here at Rhinebeck in Sax, bringing you all the action live here on LMC. And we are just about set to get underway with the opening face-off. Rhinebeck wearing their home whites with that sky blue lettering and black trim. Rhinebeck across the front. And the opening face-off will belong to the Eagles. Dobbs Ferry moving left to right in their road blue uniforms. blue jerseys and shorts with white lettering and trim and white helmets to top it off. But after the turnover off the far side, the first possession for Rhinebeck as Dorico brings it forward for Pereira. Both of these teams come into today's game with matching 5-8 records, right around the middle of the pack in Class D lacrosse, and that pass doesn't find anyone, and Dobbs Ferry picks it up. It's James McGovern bringing it forward for the Eagles, passing midfield and into the offensive third. First real offensive try for Dobbs Ferry as they work it around. The first shot goes wide, taken by Ryan Rich, the senior midfielder. Dobbs Ferry maintains possession as it will be Deacons bringing it inbounds and back in play. Starting in between the pipes for Rhinebeck is Zephy Zingier, the reigning Low HUD Player of the Week. And they'll have to face these shots from the Eagles, and a save right there off the shot from Dan. First save of the afternoon for Zingier. Matching him on the other side, it's Eitan Cohen, the freshman for Dobbs Ferry. Here's West, well guarded by Dan. And West will bring it behind the cage. Dorico will settle things now. This is a Rhinebeck team who has been hot recently, winners of 4 out of their last 6. Those 2 losses, each overtime heartbreakers, including a 7-6 defeat at the hands of North Salem. Here's the first shot for Rhinebeck from West, and that one's wide. The Panthers will keep possession over on that far side. Reese brings it forward, a switch to the net, tried to bounce it in, but could not get it to go. Possession stays with Rhinebeck, and it will be West controlling it. West and Reese, the 2 biggest offensive threats for the Panthers. Here's Noah Thur, and he works it back to West behind the crease. Now West, does he look for his first shot attempt of the day? Instead, he'll pull it back out. Third tried a shot, it was blocked by Dan. That's Harry Dan, the midfielder, bringing it forward and into the offensive third for Dobbs Ferry. 3.5 minutes expired in this contest. McGovern slips through and will pass it back out. Del Vito with control now. His pass doesn't find the intended target in Amantia. And so Dobbs Ferry turns it over to Rhinebeck, and the Panthers with another possession here. Dobbs Ferry comes into the contest off of a 13-4 loss to Ossining. Reese brings it past midfield and into the offensive third for the Panthers, where he'll slow it back up as the offense gets settled, and a line change as well for Coach Sable. Fresh into the game, it's Coletta with possession. He passes ahead to Dorico. West out of the X position. Awaits to make a move and directs Pereira back behind the crease as he moves out. Pass in front, and Reese gets the first goal of the game. Dylan Reese, the freshman, with his 31st score of the season. That puts Rhinebeck in front 1-0. Just less than 5 minutes gone by here in the contest. At the 7:19 mark. And now Pereira will step into the face-off circle against Amantia for Dobbs. Pereira, who wins the majority of face-offs, loses that one to Amantia. And now Dobbs Ferry looks for the equalizer of the first score of the game. It's Rich making a move past Polsino, and Rich's shot bounces in. Dobbs Ferry ties it at 1. Ryan Rich puts the Eagles on the scoreboard. And a good start and answer just 20 seconds after Rhinebeck scores the first goal of the game. Ryan Rich provides the answer for the Eagles. And Vincenzo Griffo will step into the face-off circle for the Panthers now. Pereira and Griffo frequently switch off, but Dobbs wins this one again thanks to Amantia. Here's the pass in front, slipping through, and the shot is in there, and a goal for AJ Del Vito. The junior attacker makes it 2-1 Dobbs, and how about that? 20 seconds apart. The Eagles' first 2 goals of the game puts them in front. Rhinebeck scored first. Less than a minute has transpired with all 3 goals coming on the scoreboard. Reese put the Panthers up. Then Rich answered for the Eagles, and Del Vito provides the first lead of the day for Dobbs Ferry. 6:39 in the opening quarter. Amantia in the face-off circle has won the last 2 for the Eagles. Wins this one, but off the ground ball, it will be Rhinebeck possession as Griffo controls it and brings it into the offensive third. Griffo, the defender, not a scoring threat, and passes it back off. He checks off as Pereira brings it forward, loses it as he tried to pass behind the crease. And so now Dobbs with an opportunity here. Long pass ahead, just outside the reach of Del Vito, and a turnover on the far sideline. Panthers take over right in front of their bench and just past the midway point of this opening quarter. Pereira slips by loose, and they'll pass it around behind the crease as DeRico gets it on the near side. Back to West in the X position, guarded by Dan. The DeRico shot is in there for his first goal of the day, and we're all even at 2 now. Pinpoint passing by the Panthers knots the game at 2. A few passes leading up to that DeRico goal set him up right in front of the crease, and an easy one for the senior to put home. After a scoreless first 4+ minutes of action, a flurry of scoring the last 3 minutes with 4 goals between the two teams. And that sets us all even at 2. It's Griffo and Amantia meeting in the face-off circle. Dobbs Ferry comes up with it as Hilton nearly able to pull it into his stick. The give and go for Dobbs Ferry, but a hard contact by Hilton. Flag on the play. I would suspect it would be for unnecessary roughness on Dimitri Hilton, but we'll see what the call from the referee is. Coletta slows things up and now gets it back from Dorico. West in the corner will bring it behind the crease and pass off to Thur. And now Noah Thur looks to slow things up, goes away from the screen. As we hit the 4-minute mark of this opening quarter. Luke West passes off to Steven Dorico. And now Reese gets his first touch of the possession. Illegal screen called against Dorico, and Dobbs Ferry picks it up, and off the other way, it's Harry Dan bringing it into the offensive third. Dan gets it back and shoots that one in for a goal. Harry Dan puts Dobbs Ferry back in front, 3-2 at the 3:33 mark of this first quarter. Dan executed that give and go perfectly, passing it off, then setting up right at that 8-meter line and got it right back for the one-timer. Dan, the senior captain for the Eagles, gives them the lead back. And now another face-off. It's Griffo in the circle, matching up with Amantia. Amantia has been in the circle the whole day for Dobbs Ferry. Dobbs Ferry awarded the possession. High pass out of reach, and off the sideline, it's Rhineck ball. Pereira checks back into the game, and he'll start the possession off for Rhineck. They work it back to Zingier as they look to turn the field. Ground ball in the midfield, picked up by Bianchini. And now here's Reese in the offensive third. Defended by Smith, and he'll pull it back to Pereira. Off the loose ball. It will be almost Dobbs Ferry possession. Smith just could not corral it on his stick, and Griffo brings it back the other way for Rhineck. Now we get a flag on the play, but Reese's shot is off the mark. And we get an offsides call on against Dobbs Ferry, called on AJ Delvito. So he will be forced to step off the field, and that'll give Rhineck a man-up advantage here. We'll see where they award the Panthers the ball. Looks like Thur stepping behind the crease. And instead it will be Reese starting with the possession on the far side, just about even with the goal. Ronick turns the field. Reese does get it back as they flip it around the horn. Here's West, thought about the shot, but instead will continue to pass it around. Reese this time goes for the pass to Thur. Ground ball, Reese picks it up. Minute 45 to go in the quarter. Ronick looking for the equalizer. Here's DeRico. Slows it up against McGovern, goes around the screen from Bianchini, and Bianchini loses it on this pick and roll. Here's West as we approach a minute to go in the opening quarter. West's shot bounces wide, and possession to Ronick. 1:06 on the clock here in the opening 12 minutes. Thur advances it, and the pass in front of the crease through traffic. Bianchini tried to corral it, but instead it ends up in the stick of Cohen. A dangerous pass to look for Bianchini, surrounded by 4 Eagles defenders. That shot wrist wide by Dan. 35.7 seconds remain on the clock. And the ball awarded to Ronick. So the Panthers will have to go the length of the field in 35 seconds. Pereira, one of the speedier players, passes it along, and a pass picked off by Smith as we hit 25 seconds. Zingier comes out of the crease to try to corral it and does so on the end line. It's 15 seconds to go here in the quarter, and Pereira will move it up the sideline. Passed over to Foster inside of 10 seconds. Coletta passes it along. Now 5 seconds. Bianchini can't get the shot off, and the buzzer will sound. That ends quarter number 1. Dobbs Ferry takes a 3-2 lead into the quarter break. We'll step aside. Much more to come here on LMC Varsity Sports.
Large Mamba Marinette, this is your media center. Live mobile production van. In-studio recording. Podcasting. Social media. In your schools. Watching your government. With your neighbors. LMC Media. Building community through media.
Thank you for watching LMC Varsity Sports. We hope to continue this service of streaming our school's varsity sports matches, but we can only do this with your support. Visit lmcmedia.org/donate and make your contribution today and keep this program going.
Start of the second quarter, Dobbs Ferry with a 3-2 lead over the host Rhinebeck. Both these teams battling for playoff position with the postseason right around the corner. Next week begins the second season this year, this spring, with a full sectional playoffs. None of the other sports seasons had a full sectional playoff, as that pass goes wide and West picks it up. Jockeying for position and a potential at hosting in the first round. Pereira brings it toward the crease. His shot bounced, deflected away. West tries to keep it alive for the Panthers, but instead the Eagles nearly picking it up, and now it's a battle for it behind the crease. Pereira throws it over to Coletta, who tried to bounce it in. Coletta thought about another shot, but tried to flick his stick before he had possession of it. Amantia brings it forward for Dobbs Ferry, and now it's Delvito slowing things up for the Eagles. He'll pass it off to John Dew. Here's Harry Dan, who has one of the 3 goals today. Appears as though there's a flag down on the field. No call yet from the official on the far sideline, as it's Delvito's shot that's angled high. It'll be possession to Dobbs Ferry. We'll see what the call is against Rhinebeck. Looked like it was Foster called for it as he takes a knee next to the scorer's table. Now the 2 referees will confer. So should this hold, it'll be a man-up advantage for Dobbs Ferry. James McGovern with the ball in his stick on that far sideline, and he brings it back in play. Around the perimeter, it's Deacons who gets it back now. Eagles slip it inside, and a stop by Zingier. Zingier holding strong from the pinpoint range shot right in front of the crease. Zingier, his second save of the afternoon. Delvito brings it forward, well defended by Griffo. The much taller Griffo forcing Delvito back. Now Rich passes it off. Bragg thought about the shot. Pass inside and a goal. Nice move from Harry Dan. Faked high, went low, and beat Zingier. How about Harry Dan showing the ball to Zingier, then moving away and getting the goal to make it a 4-2 lead for Dobbs Ferry. That'll spark a timeout for Rhinebeck's Jonathan Stable. So as Sable takes a timeout, we will as well here on LMC Varsity Sports. 9:17 to go in the second, and a 2-goal lead for the Eagles.
The LMC Media Production Van is a fully equipped mobile production unit. This custom-built van has cutting-edge professional video and telecommunications technology, high-definition cameras, and accommodates a full production crew. Interviews and events can be easily live-streamed from remote locations to the LMC cable channels and social media. This mobile unit allows for broadcasting from anywhere in our tri-municipal community and beyond. Sporting events, graduations, concerts, festivals, parades, and more. The LMC Media Production Van is ready to go whenever you need it.
Need technical support for your next meeting or presentation? LMC Media offers full-service meeting management virtually, in real life, or a hybrid of both. Our staff can run your meeting or webinar, set up for in-person audiences to interact, or provide a professional space for you to stream. Contact us for more information at info@lmcmedia.org.
Early second quarter here at Rhinebeck. Panthers trailing the Eagles 4-2. Dobbs Ferry has scored the last 3 in the contest. Possession to Dobbs Ferry after the faceoff. McGovern brings it into the offensive third. Del Vito with the crossfield pass to a streaking Dan, and the save for Zingier. Nice idea from the Eagles, trying to flip the field and get a quick shot, but the reigning low HUD player of the week, too smart to let that one sneak by him. High pass to Polsino, trickles to the sideline. He picks it up. Guarded by Del Vito. And off the ground ball, Dobbs Ferry takes the turnover. Bragg brings it ahead for McGovern. Here's Rich, the pass in front. And what a nifty move by Del Vito for his second goal of the game. Del Vito going airborne with the turnaround shot to make it 5-2. Dobbs Ferry with all the momentum in the world here against Rhinebeck. The Panthers scored 2 quick goals right about 20 seconds apart in that first quarter. But other than that, they've been held off the scoreboard. Dobbs Ferry, meanwhile, putting on an offensive clinic as of late. Griffo nearly picks up the ball off the faceoff, but instead it's McGovern who brings it into the offensive third for Dobbs Ferry. Can the Eagles score here once again to take a 6-2 lead? Deacons controls it, passes it to Bragg. Looking for the pass in front, and Richards nearly comes up with it, but the Eagles have it once again right in front of the crease. It's Rich, and he'll pass it off for McGovern. And now they'll settle it and work it around. Here's Harry Dan, who has 2 goals today. He'll pass it to David Brigg. Bounced in, another save for Zingier. Zingier, his 4th save of the day today. Dan guarded by Griffo, brings it forward, looking for the pass, slips through, and McGovern will pick it up. Now, the shot once again going top shelf. A.J. Del Vito gets the hat trick to make it a 4-goal lead for Dobbs Ferry. Everything turning the Eagles' way. All 3 goals this quarter belonging to the visitors. Rhinebeck makes a change in the face-off circle. It's been Griffo the last few tries, and now it'll be Matthew Pereira, the junior, who wins just over 60% of the face-offs he's in. But this one won by Dobbs Ferry as Dan picks it up. Rich with the acrobatic goal. Ryan Rich, all in one motion, catches the pass, goes airborne, contorts his body, and gets the goal to go in. 6 straight from the Eagles to take a 7-2 lead. Amantia will now meet Steven DeRico in the face-off circle. First face-off of the afternoon for the midfielder DeRico. And Rhinebeck awarded it. Here's Thur. It's been a while since we've been on this half of the field, as Dobbs Ferry has dominated the time of possession the last few minutes, winning several consecutive face-offs. West couldn't handle the pass, so Dobbs Ferry gets the turnover, and the Eagles look to go back the other way. Rumbold brings it to midfield, and we'll pass it off to Rich. Rich moves forward, passes it off, and that's a goal for A.J. Del Vito. Goal number 4 for the junior. Makes it an 8-6 lead for the Eagles, and we have just passed the halfway point of this second quarter. 5:55 left on the clock. This is a second quarter that has been all Dobbs Ferry, shutting out the Panthers. Now 5-0 over the first 6 minutes of this period. DeRico once again takes the face-off against Deacons. Dobbs Ferry wins it, and here's Del Vito passing it ahead for Amantia. And Amantia's shot bounces in. Amantia wins the face-off for Dobbs Ferry and then comes down and scores a goal like that. Everything turning the Eagles' way. It's a 9-2 Dobbs Ferry lead. 5:35 to go here in the second. We'll step aside as these two teams talk things over.
you say something right then and there. You don't wait 18 years. I don't know how long it's been or if this is recent, but still. That's the one thing I hate about this Me Too movement. I can't, it boggles my mind.
Midway point of the second quarter here at Rhinebeck, and Dobbs Ferry has seized control of this game, leading 9-2 now, but Griffo wins the faceoff for the Panthers. Rhinebeck looking for some momentum. Reese gets the goal in, his second score of the day. And you have to like that if you're Coach Sable right out of the timeout. Griffo wins the faceoff, charges downfield, and sets up Reese right in front of the crease. Reese, his second goal of the day, and that stops 8 straight goals for Dobbs Ferry. Griffo once again meeting Amantia in the face-off circle, but Amantia wins this one. And now Luce passes it along to McGovern, who will bring it into the offensive third. Del Vito slows things up. And now Dobbs Ferry goes to work with Dan controlling it. Back for Del Vito. Thought about the shot, and instead will pass off. Griffo picks up the loose ball as Dan couldn't handle it. Thur nearly caught it to move upfield. And the loose ball finds its way back to Thur. So, in so many words, we're back to where we could have been 30 seconds earlier. Here's Pereira slowing things up for Rhinebeck. 4:20 to go before halftime. West from behind the crease will move forward, try a shot, but it's deflected. And Smith picks it up for Dobbs Ferry. And we'll get a timeout on the Dobbs Ferry sideline this time as head coach Drew Meyer calls for the opportunity to talk things over with his team. One tick inside of 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Just a little bit of a game recap here. Rhinebeck took a 2-1 lead midway through that first quarter. Then it was all Dobbs Ferry after that. The Eagles scored the final 2 goals of the first quarter to take a 3-2 lead into the quarter break. And then Dobbs Ferry scored the first 6 of the second quarter to take a 9-2 lead. Just a moment ago, Dylan Reese netted his second goal of the game to snap that streak for Dobbs Ferry and make it a 9-3 ball game. That's where we stand right now, as it's AJ Del Vito leading the way for Dobbs Ferry with 4 goals of his own, outscoring Rhinebeck single-handedly. Fellow multi-goal scorers for Dobbs Ferry, Ryan Rich and Harry Dan, each with 2 scores next to their name. Reese, the only player with 2 goals for Rhinebeck. And so we're set back. Smith will bring it forward for Dobbs Ferry, who has to go the length of the field here. He loses it as he crosses into the midfield, and now a battle for the ground ball. But Smith comes up with it anyway, and he's off to the races. Worked around, and Rich hits it off the post. Rich had a lot of velocity on that shot, but it hit off the post And so Rhinebeck takes the possession back. Griffo can't handle the pass and now moves it along the sideline. Passed up to midfield, and now Rhinebeck picking up the space it needs. Pereira moves it into the offensive third as we hit the 3-minute mark of this second quarter. West works it around to third. Pereira pulls it out to West behind the crease. Now West guarded by Dan. Will look to slip toward the goal, loses the ball. Good defense from Dan. Ground ball finds its way all the way to midfield, and Rumbold brings it forward, passes ahead to Delvito. And that one too high for a streaking Georgia Dacus. 2:09 remaining on the clock. And it will be Rhinebeck ball. Paulsino launches it forward. And Rhinebeck into its offensive third. It's DeRico looking for the goal, and DeRico's shot redirected. Here's Reese, tried to bounce it in, but it's off target. Rhinebeck possession on the far side with 1:45 to go. Thur looks to start the play up for the Panthers. We'll go around the screen. Tried to pass it. And it will be possession. Will stay with Rhinebeck. $1:25 left on the clock. Can Rhinebeck find a little bit of momentum before heading into the locker room? Here's Reese. Flag on the play. Now DeRico as we hit the 1-minute mark. DeRico with the short stop. Now back for Reese. Smith nearly came up with the turnover. And a whistle right even with the goal. .46 remaining on the clock. And Rhinebeck will have a man-up advantage here as Brendan Smith called for the infraction. Rhinebeck will start with it on the near side. Trailing 9-3. Dylan Reese will start the possession off. And here's West from behind the crease. Third shot is saved by Cohen. Pereira now will try his shot. Hit off the crossbar. Looked like it should have counted as it was just under the crossbar, but they'll play on. Pereira's shot is saved this time by Cohen as well. 20 seconds remaining on the clock now. Dobbs Ferry moves it into its offensive third. Pass ahead for Rich. Rich tried the fancy shot, couldn't get it to go inside of 10 seconds. Dobbs Ferry, can they get one more shot off? 5 seconds remaining on the clock, and Bragg will just pass it off, and they'll hold on to it. So Dobbs Ferry takes a 9-3 lead into halftime. The Eagles score 8 of the last 9 goals of that first half to take a 6-goal lead into the break. We'll step aside. Second half coming up next here on LMC Varsity Sports.
Thank you for watching LMC Varsity Sports. We hope to continue this service of streaming our school's varsity sports matches, but we can only do this with your support. Visit lmcmedia.org/donate and make your contribution today and keep this program going.
Large Mamba Marinette, this is your media center. Live mobile production van. In-studio recording. Podcasting. Social media. In your schools. Watching your government. With your neighbors. LMC Media. Building community through media.
Do you need space for a meeting, conference, or presentation?
LMC Media has what you need.
Our 768 square foot studio space is ideal for many types of productions, readings, recitals, rehearsals, and workshops. The space has video recording capability, as well as daylight temperature lighting, green screen, and stage. 2 additional rooms at 208 and 156 square feet can be used for any of your needs. Auditions, meetings, classes, workshops, one-on-one instructions, and more. Both rooms feature video monitors with Chromecasting capability, making presentations a breeze.
To reserve one or more of our spaces, contact us at reserve@lmcmedia.org.
My name is Sean. I am a regular volunteer here.
Hi, I'm Paul. I'm a volunteer. Today is my very first day. I've only been here about an hour.
LMC just provides a lot of opportunities for volunteers.
This was the first opportunity I've ever had to be like in a professional news setting.
I've learned on camera, I learned post-production, I've learned everything that I could possibly learn about the world of TV and production in general.
Everybody is extremely outgoing and very helpful. I think everyone seems to have a good time when they're making the show or behind the scenes, so it's a very friendly, like, positive environment.
Every time I would come in, it would just be a whole new experience. Just all the people were just so nice and inviting.
Everybody who works at LMC, they're just great to be around. It's a great laugh. It's, you know, kind of feels like a family.
The LMC Media Production Van is a fully equipped mobile production unit. This custom-built van has cutting-edge professional video and telecommunications technology, high-definition cameras, and accommodates a full production crew. Interviews and events can be easily live-streamed from remote locations to the LMC cable channels and social media. This mobile unit allows for broadcasting from anywhere in our tri-municipal community and beyond. Sporting events, graduations, concerts, festivals, parades, and more. The LMC Media Production Van is ready to go whenever you need it.
Do you have a great idea for a YouTube video or a short film, but don't know how to make it happen?
LMC Media has what you need.
Our equipment cage is stocked with professional quality cameras, tripods, lighting, sound, cabling, and more. Our 768 square foot studio features a full lighting grid, wraparound green screen, teleprompter, TriCaster, and high-definition cameras.
To reserve equipment, contact us at reserve@lmcmedia.org.
LMC Media's YouTube channel is where you can connect to your community. You can easily find your favorite videos in a playlist or keyword search. Videos are added daily relating to your community, weekly updates, talk shows.
Welcome to another community conversation. I'm Michael Witch for LMC Media.
How-tos, and municipal meetings. Stay connected through video. Check it out and subscribe.
Did you know you can watch LMC Media on your Roku in full high definition? Go to streaming channels and search for ScreenWeave. Install the Cablecast ScreenWeave channel. Look for the green icon. Open the channel, scroll to LMC Media, and press OK. Your device will remember your selection in the future. From within the app, you can watch all 3 of LMC's channels live. Or check out municipal and school board meetings, varsity sports, and more on demand.
Everywhere you looked, you saw pain and loss.
The situation was dire, and I think we all needed to see some light in the darkness.
If you turned on the TV at night, all you saw were stories of loss and fear.
But on a local level, there was hope. And those were the stories that we wanted to focus on.
LMC stepped in and served as a communication bridge, not only to disseminate important information, but also to uplift our community.
LMC was able to showcase so many heroic acts taking place locally, stories that without hyperlocal media wouldn't have reached a viewing audience.
Welcome to LMC Media and our community conversations.
Our community conversations pieces were one way to let everyone know that despite all of the terrible tragedies taking place, there were amazing things happening in our community.
People look to those stories for hope and connection. I think that's what's so important. The fact that LMC has kept us all connected.
LMC taught us how to come together digitally. They helped us with every Zoom meeting from the start till now and kept us being able to connect with you.
I just want to thank LMC Media for being there for us throughout this emergency and for helping us look out for one another. You're a vital part of this community, and we could not function and govern and take care of our residents without your vital input.
Need technical support for your next meeting or presentation? LMC Media offers full-service meeting management virtually, in real life, or a hybrid of both. Our staff can run your meeting or webinar, set up for in-person audiences to interact, or provide a professional space for you to stream. Contact us for more information at info@lmcmedia.org.
Start of the third quarter. Rhinebeck versus Dobbs Ferry. And it will be Eagles ball to start the period. Flag on the first play, not even 10 seconds into the half. But we'll get the call in a moment as Dobbs Ferry looks to expand on its 6-goal lead. Here's Ryan Rich passing it off for Del Vito. Rich slips as he tried to make a move on Richards. And now here's Dan. Looking to go past Griffo. Hilton comes out to double. That shot off the mark from Dan wide to the side of the target. Eagles will stay with possession. And it looks like it was a penalty against Griffo. So he will take a knee on the far side, and it'll be a man-up advantage for Dobbs Ferry here. Del Vito with the cross-field pass. That shot deflected off the stick of Georgia Dacus. Rhinebeck takes over, so the Panthers will have their first possession of the half. Hilton streaks it forward as he passes midfield and passes it along into the offensive third, and a successful clear for the Panthers. Third forces the double, passes it ahead. And here's Reese streaking toward the goal, and he gets his third of the game. Dylan Reese, the Panthers' leading goal scorer, puts them on the scoreboard here first in the third quarter. So Thur moves it along, and Reese gets the goal. 33 on the season now for the freshman. And it pulls the deficit down to 5.
Come on, Maddie, pull it back.
Pereira in the face-off circle against Amantia. Ground ball picked up by Amantia initially. Thur knocks it out, so Dobbs Ferry will keep the possession basically off the face-off. That shot wrestled high by Dan. Georgia Dacus takes it and restarts the possession for Dobbs Ferry. Here's Rich, his shot off the mark wide. Possession stays with Dobbs Ferry. Just past 2 minutes gone by here in the third. McGovern tried to make a move, but lost it on the ground ball, and Foster starts the possession back for Rhinebeck. Zingier passes it along to Pereira, and now Pereira looks to make the big outlet pass up to Dorico. Thur clears it. And now Pereira gets it back. His shot saved by Cohen. Etan Cohen gets the save there, and off the turnover, Rhinebeck with another opportunity here as the pass too high for Reese. And a turnover gives the ball back to Dobbs Ferry. Dan brings it forward, now passes it off to Del Vito, looking to get it back, and the connection not made. Reineck will get the ball back. Pass too high by Zingier, went right into the stick of Dan. And now Dan battles for it, loses it to Coletta, and Reineck goes back the other way. So some sloppiness in the midfield right there as Bianchini can't control it. Smith brings it back the other way. Both teams giving the ball right back. Reineck with possession here. It's DeRico moving forward. Now West with an empty net goal. And Luke West nets his first goal of the day. West drew Cohen up off his line, and that left the twine wide open for the sophomore and leading point scorer for Reineck to make it a 9-5 ball game. Both goals this quarter coming for Reineck, and the Panthers slowly but surely inching their way back into this contest, trailing by just 4. Griffo wins the faceoff, but now the 50-50 ball picked up by Reese, and the Panthers with another opportunity here could pull within 3. DeRico gets it over to West. West brings it forward. Now here's Reese. DeRico will slow things up. Reese slows things up for Reineck. Now makes a move, passes it looking for West, but the pass too high. And the turnover for Reineck gives the ball back to Dobbs Ferry. It'll be Brian Dan starting the possession off for the Eagles. Amantia passes it up to Bragg. Dobbs Ferry turns it over, so Reineck gets another opportunity. They'll start with it on the far sideline, just in front of their bench. Sabane passes it along. And now here's Coletta, who brings it into the offensive third. Bad pass from Bianchini, looking for a cutting teammate who wasn't there. And Dobbs Ferry back the other way. Dan loses it, and third picks up the ground ball. Third passes it across the field to Reese, and he will slow things up. 5:20 to go in the third. In there for a goal. Matthew Pereira, his first score of the game. And all of a sudden, the Panthers have cut the deficit in half. What was once a 9-3 ball game at halftime is now a 9-6 affair. And dating back to that second quarter, it is 4 straight goals for Ryan-Eck. Griffo to meet Amantia in the face-off circle. Won by the Eagles, and McGovern moves it forward. McGovern gets it right back and has it knocked away. It's Rich trying to pick it up. And the official calls time. Dobbs Ferry will have the possession. Rich starts it off and passes it over to Del Vito. Now here's McGovern back for Bragg. As the Eagles work it around the perimeter, the pass too high, and West picks it up at midfield. Ryan-Eck back the other way. Panthers with a 3-on-3 opportunity here. West cuts in, gets the shot off, but it's wide. And the possession goes back to Dobbs Ferry. Fast break opportunity for Ryan-Eck on that one, but Luke West could not capitalize on it. Jump ball at midfield, and Dobbs Ferry goes back the other way. Ryan Rich moves it along. Griffo picks up the ground ball, and we're back the other way. Ryan-Eck with possession once again. Reese loses it, but the ground ball will be picked up by Griffo momentarily, and now a battle for it. Still no one clearly with possession. Griffo has it, and a timeout on the field. So we'll step aside as well. 3:54 to go here in the third. Ryan-Eck trying to stage a comeback against Dobbs Ferry.
Do you have a great idea for a YouTube video or a short film, but don't know how to make it happen?
LMC Media has what you need.
Our equipment cage is stocked with professional quality cameras, tripods, lighting, sound, cabling, and more. Our 768 square foot studio features a full lighting grid, wraparound green screen, teleprompter, TriCaster, and high definition cameras.
To reserve equipment, contact us at reserve@lmcmedia.org.
Ryan-Eck with possession out of the timeout as Third brings it forward, but the play whistle dead. And looks like a turnover called against Third, so Dobbs Ferry takes over just inside 4 minutes as the clouds start to settle in over the field. Third picks it back up for Rhinebeck. And now a battle for the loose ball, and it will belong to Luke West, but he's triple teamed right at midfield, and West goes down, holding his back momentarily. And the Rhinebeck coaching staff fired up from the contact on that play. West looks shaken up a bit as he walks toward the Rhinebeck bench. Two referees conferring right near the midfield line. No indication of a penalty or a foul call just yet. And possession to Dobbs Ferry after the injury stoppage in the play. Eagles get it to McGovern, who passes along to Deacons, and now McGovern gets it back, trying to slip through. A little give and go by those two Eagles. That shot off the mark. It was Dan who tried to rifle it home, but instead he hit Del Vito, who was standing near the crease. The shot well off target. Definitely not a pass. Del Vito certainly not expecting it at all. And so Dobbs Ferry will keep the possession. Here's Del Vito looking for a cutting McGovern. Couldn't make the connection, and on the ground ball, a hard hit. Things getting a little chippy down there as the initial contact by Del Vito hit against Barajas, and then Polsino coming in with the hard hit on Del Vito leads to the foul, and Polsino will retreat to the sideline on the penalty. So that will give Dobbs Ferry another man-up opportunity here. 2:46 to go in the third quarter. Harry Dan will start with the ball in his stick. On the near side, right around the start of the offensive third for Dobbs Ferry, and he moves it forward over to Rich. Dobbs Ferry with the advantage here. A two-man advantage for the Eagles as both Griffo and Polsino are in the penalty, and it's a goal for Ryan Rich. The hat trick for the senior makes it 10-6 in favor of Dobbs Ferry. The Eagles' first goal of this second half comes with a two-man advantage nearly 10 minutes into the period. And with the goal, Griffo comes back onto the field for Rhinebeck. So it's still a man-up advantage for Dobbs Ferry. And now Rhinebeck full strength after the goal as Polsino checks back into the game as well. The face-off picked up by Rhinebeck, and Pereira brings it forward, looking to pass to Thur. Ball trickles to the corner, and Thur collects it. Now here's DeRico. Looking for the entry pass inside. Reese's shot is high. And it'll stay with Rhinebeck as Bianchini collects it. Minute 45 to go before the quarter break. Third passes along to DeRico. DeRico tries the hesitation move and now slips through. DeRico looking for the shot. That a save from Cohen. Bounced off his foot. Pereira's shot is wide. And a minute 15 remaining on the clock here in the third. Possession to Dobbs Ferry. Smith brings it forward for the Eagles. We've hit the 60-second mark of the first quarter off the Dobbs Ferry turnover. Possession to Rhinebeck, and Coletta will start things off for the Panthers. Coletta gets it back in the offensive third, and now it's third. 45 seconds to go, and that shot wrestled in there by Dylan Reese, his fourth of the game with 43 seconds left on the clock. A nifty move by Reese, going belt high to put the Panthers back within 3. Griffo and Dan meet in the face-off circle. Rhinebeck looking for some late quarter heroics and to continue their momentum. It was a 9-3 contest at halftime, so the third quarter won by the Panthers so far, but looking to pull even closer before the final 12 minutes. And they come up with the face-off, only to lead to a ground ball inside of 30 seconds now. Still loose on the ground in the midfield, and the Eagles pick it up. 18 seconds now for Dobbs Ferry, and it's Smith looking for a pass. 10 seconds to go in the quarter now. Dobbs Ferry has enough time to get one shot off. 5 seconds to go. That one off the post by Deacons, and time will expire with the ball in Zingier's stick. So we head to the fourth quarter in a very entertaining game. Dobbs Ferry with a 10-7 lead over Rhinebeck. Can the Panthers pull off the comeback over the final 12? Stay tuned to find out.
Large Mamba Marinette, this is your media center. Live mobile production van. In-studio recording. Podcasting. Social media. In your schools. Watching your government. With your neighbors. LMC Media. Building community through media.
Thank you for watching LMC Varsity Sports. We hope to continue this service of streaming our school's varsity sports matches, but we can only do this with your support. Visit lmcmedia.org/donate and make your contribution today and keep this program going.
Final period here of this crucial late season game. Dobbs Ferry with the lead against Rhinebeck. Dan wins the face-off for the Eagles, who have the 10-7 lead. Rhinebeck won that third quarter 4-1, and trying to stage the comeback, get back into this one. It was a 9-2 lead at one point for Dobbs Ferry, and since that point, it has been 5-1, and that one bouncing in for Rich, his fourth of the game. And just like that, it seemed as though Rhinebeck could catch its breath and work its way back into it. Rich bumps the lead back up to 4. Just 38 seconds into the fourth quarter. And a nice start for the Eagles out of the quarter break. Looking to pick up the win and help their chances of hosting a playoff game in the first round of the sectional championship, which begins in right about 1 week's time. Eagles win the faceoff once again. Amantia has been so dominant in that face-off circle. The high pass to Del Vito, and now he'll slow things up for the Eagles, who will look to add more to their lead here. That shot bouncing in for Amantia. So the sophomore wins the face-off, comes down the other way, takes the pass right in front of the crease, and puts it home. Not even a minute into this final quarter, and already Dobbs Ferry has padded the lead by 2 and now lead 12-7. And this has been really kind of a seesaw game, each quarter with a different story to it. The first quarter pretty balanced, 3-2 Dobbs Ferry led after the first 12 minutes. Then the Eagles dominated the second quarter, outscoring Rhinebeck 6-1 over the second 12 minutes as Griffo wins the faceoff for the Panthers, who get their first possession of the quarter now and have even more of a hole to climb out of, as it's West looking for the pass out to Reese, who gets the score, his 5th of the game. Dylan Reese came in with 30 goals, and he's going to leave with at least 35. So a high-scoring first 90 seconds of this fourth quarter. Each possession has resulted in a goal. Dobbs Ferry with the first 2 of the quarter, and then Rhinebeck answering with 1 right there. 12-8 is the tally. 10:35 remaining on the clock. Pereira and Dan in the face-off, and Pereira wins it. Dan thought he had the win, but then Pereira brings it forward. The pass too high for Reese, and Dobbs Ferry will take over. So the first possession that doesn't result in a goal here for this quarter. Off the ground ball, picked up by Pereira, and we're going back the other way. Rhinebeck forces the turnover in the midfield, and now looks to get the deficit back to 3, which is where it was at the start of the quarter just 2 minutes ago. Pereira slips forward. That shot is a save for Cohen. McGovern brings it forward, passes midfield, and gets into the offensive third. Gets it right back and passes it off. That shot outside. Deacons nearly snuck that one past Zingier. Third brings it forward. West shot off the post. DeRico collects it for Ryan-Eck. Nearly another score for Luke West. Already has 1 goal today as well as a couple of assists. West makes another move, looks to pass it off as he draws the double team. Loses his balance behind the crease. And West passes it along. DeRico, crossfield pass to Reese. Reese moves forward. Shot off the mark, and it'll be Ryan-Eck possession from the corner. West will start things off as we inch closer to the 8-minute mark. Looking for the pass right in front of the crease, and that one bounces into the goal. Looked like it was off the stick of John Bianchini. And the goalie turned attacker pulls the Panthers back within 3. That shot very reminiscent of the game winner a week ago in one of the most dramatic finishes you'll ever see in the Ryan-Eck come from behind victory over Hastings. The Panthers trailed with 35 seconds left by 2 goals and scored 3 goals in that time. The game winner with 1 second left, bouncing in on a redirect very similar to that one. And a stunning win. And part of the reason why Ryan-Eck has been so hot recently, winners of 4 of their last 6. Looking to make it 5 out of 7 here. But they're going to need some of that late game heroics here over the final 8 minutes, trailing by 3 as it's Dan moving forward, passing it along to McGovern. And now McGovern passes it off. Del Vito now passes along to Amantia. And the Eagles will slow things up here on this one. The clock is their friend here with just over 7 minutes remaining in this one. That shot from Dan wide of the target, and it'll stay with Dobbs Ferry. Rich restarts the possession. Draws 3 defenders, the pass in front, and Zingier makes the save on the shot from McGovern. That one high. It stays with Dobbs Ferry. So the Eagles putting the pressure on Zingier in the crease and forcing the freshman to make the stops. Dan draws the defense. Gets the shot off though. Flag on the play. We'll see if the goal will stand. If it does, that would be Dan's 3rd goal of the game. And it looks like the penalty goes against Ryan-Eck's Griffo. So that is indeed Dan's 3rd score of the game. And that bumps the lead back up to 4 for Dobbs Ferry. With 6:42 remaining in the game. it will be Amantia against Pereira in the face-off circle. Dobbs Ferry wins the face-off, and McGovern passes it over to Amantia. McGovern moves it along. Here's Rich, and now to Del Vito. McGovern's shot off target. It stays with Dobbs as Deacons will restart the action. Del Vito passes it in front of the crease, and now here's Dan over to Rich now. McGovern corrals it as we've ticked inside of the 5:30 mark. Slipping through, and that one too high. The pass intended for Del Vito. Reineck takes over on the turnover. And now a flag. So Reineck will take over right around midfield, and a 30-second penalty called against A.J. Del Vito. And it gives Reineck the possession just inside midfield. So the Panthers trailing by 4, looking for a score here. It's Reese passing to West behind the crease. Angled around, Pereira's shot deflected. An off the ground ball picked up by West. Panthers with another opportunity here. DeRico's shot is in there for a goal. The senior nets his second of the day and pulls the deficit back to within 3. Can Reineck get closer than 3? That is the question that we've been asking all quarter. They got the deficit down to 3 at the end of the third quarter. Manageable, cutting the halftime deficit in half. But then those 2 early goals from Dobbs Ferry here in the quarter forced the Panthers to have to dig deep once again. But we're all back to the 3-goal Eagles lead, and McGovern wins the faceoff for Dobbs. Gets it right back on the give and go, and a nice save by Zingier on the McGovern shot. Griffo passes midfield and gets it into the offensive third. Here's West drawing 2 defenders, and he'll pull it back out. Thurr slows things up as we pass the 4-minute mark. Still a 3-goal deficit. Reineck looking for some late game heroics once again. Thurr around the DeRico screen. Finds Reese, and Reese's shot off target. Tried to bounce it in, but sent it wide of the goal. West tries to slip through, and West's shot is deflected. Possession stays with Reineck. 3:34 remaining in the game. Here's West. Trying to slip in, draws two defenders, falls down, no call. And now we will get a timeout by Coach Sable. Rhinebeck trailing by 3. 3:16 to go. We'll step aside, and the finale coming up next here on LMC Varsity Sports.
Did you know you can watch LMC Media on your Roku in full high definition? Go to streaming channels and search for ScreenWeave. Install the Cablecast ScreenWeave channel. Look for the green icon. Open the channel, scroll to LMC Media, and press OK. Your device will remember your selection in the future. From within the app, you can watch all 3 of LMC's channels live. Or check out municipal and school board meetings, varsity sports, and more on demand.
Need technical support for your next meeting or presentation? LMC Media offers full-service meeting management virtually, in real life, or a hybrid of both. Our staff can run your meeting or webinar, set up for in-person audiences to interact, or provide a professional space for you to stream. Contact us for more information at info@lmcmedia.org.
Trying to angle back in this one. Third. And it's Reese who bounces it in. Dylan Reese had his spot in mind on that far corner of the post. Bounces it in there. And don't look now. But Rhinebeck back within 2 with 3:06 to go. Took 10 seconds after the timeout for Reese to find the back of the net. This is a Rhinebeck team with poise under pressure in late game situations. They've been in so many close games as of late. Dropped a couple of overtime heartbreakers, had that dramatic come from behind victory against Hastings last week. The Panthers potentially peaking at the right time as the Eagles win the face-off off the infraction. So now here's Del Vito to slow things up for Dobbs Ferry as we're inside of 3 minutes now. Eagles have led just about the entirety of this game. Scored the first goal. The only time they trailed was when it was 2-1 Rhinebeck. Other than that, it has been all Dobbs Ferry today. Rhinebeck has been in a deep hole the entire second half, clawing their way back into it though. As Deacons passes out to Del Vito. The ground ball though will be a battle for it, picked up by Rich, so it stays with the Eagles. And now Rich will slow things up over to Amantia as we hit the 2-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. The winner of this game moves to 6-8. The loser drops to 5-9. Slipping in and a save by Zingier off the shot from McGovern. Battle for the loose ball. And we have a flag down on the far side during that flurry of action. Dobbs Ferry had a couple of opportunities, and it looks like the infraction goes against the Panthers. The parent section just below us not happy with that call. That will give the Eagles a man-up advantage here with 1:32 to go. And a 2-goal edge for Dobbs. Del Vito starts things off. Precious seconds ticking away from Rhinebeck here on this possession as Dobbs tries to play keep away. Here it's Del Vito passing back to Amantia. Dobbs with a man up here as we hit the 1-minute mark. Rich slips through, draws 2 defenders, and will pull it back out. Here's Dan, now over to McGovern. Still with a man-up advantage are the Eagles as we tick under 45 seconds now. Ground ball, though, as Griffo will pick it up. Rhinebeck trying to run transition, and Polsino can't come up with it. And so Dobbs Ferry takes it back the other way as we hit the 30-second mark now. Up ahead to Del Vito, and Rich passes it out instead of trying to shoot. That one off the post by Deacons, and the ball off the sideline. It'll stay with Dobbs Ferry. 18.5 seconds remain on the clock. McGovern will start things off once again. Here's Dan, and a foul call. A flag on the play inside of 10 seconds now. Here's McGovern, and he'll just hold it inside of 5, and that will end the game. Dobbs Ferry comes out with the 13-11 victory over Rhinebeck. It was that big second quarter for Dobbs Ferry in which they scored 8 consecutive goals against this Rhinebeck team to build up the lead. Just too much for the Panthers to overcome. Rhinebeck tried to battle back throughout the second half, but just could not dig themselves out of the hole, as it was Rich and Del Vito each with 4 goals to lead the way for Dobbs Ferry, a hat trick as well for Harry Dan, and 2 scores for Amantia. Rhinebeck led by 6 goals from Dylan Reese. The only other Panther with multiple scores was Steven DeRico. So that'll do it from Rhinebeck High School, where the Panthers fall to the Eagles 13-11 for our community sports producer, Rob Moretti, and our cameraman today, Nick Gutierrez. I'm Ian Sachs saying so long and have a good night.